Okay, recap for Thursday, the 25th of September, 2025. So, it's not a day I traded, so I'm just gonna figure out as we go. I was basically done on Wednesday or Tuesday, I can't remember, but I was done on them days, and I just didn't trade the next 2 days because it was low probability and I was just basically done, right? So, my main thing that I want to see for the daily time frame is because how we left them highs is go down to here, right? And then this low was the upper quadrant. So from then, when I woke up, right, when I seen that we already took this low, right, my expectation was us to start heading back, right? If we're gonna be as bullish as we are, but we didn't. So I just left it as it is, and the second that we took that low, I was done, right? Which means this week was a Tuesday high of the week. I know that Monday made the high, but like there's exceptions here and there. You'd see the high is like literally a tick or two difference, right? Like this ain't nothing much. But Monday could make the high of the week, but like as a classic profile, it'd be like Monday going up, and then Tuesday just slightly bumping the high. It didn't bump it because it made an intermediate term high. Then it'll start the dump on Tuesday, Wednesday, then Thursday, and then Friday we'll get back into the range. All you know is that Thursday was so big that we made again an inside day, right? But I'd expect by now that we have dumped enough, right? One more thing that makes me think this is just a rebalance dump, not like an actual high type of dump, is that there's no displacement, right? And again, overall, we're still respecting this bullish fair value gap. I'm guessing we're still in the upper quadrant of it. Yeah, like upper quadrant. That's like hella bullish with the bodies, right? And the fact that we had an inside day here. So I'd expect Monday to be rushing out the gate to like go higher, right? At least taking these two previous daily highs on like Friday and Thursday. That's what I think, right? Especially that on the dump, we kept leaving equal highs, equal highs, equal highs. And I think this is just to entice that, ooh, we're very bearish or something like that. But I still don't believe this is the top by the way that it just dropped, right? Because regardless, this week, I was expecting us to stop and go back, but I guess we want to just delay it. 1 week go down, the next week go up, blah, 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 right? So that's my thoughts for the week anyway. So on Thursday, so let's see how it would go down, right? Me, I'd be bullish, so I'd expect this upper quadrant to be held, but at where's upper quadrant this Friday? There, right? So the second that we at 7 a.m. took that low, should be expecting lower prices, and second, low probability because you already missed the move, right? Why do you already miss the move? Because we add discount, right? First of all, we had discount on the daily range. Why? Because like from this low to this high, if we like really look at our range, this low was already the discount. Selling anything below this low, you selling at like discount or like make it, I don't know, it's premium if you want to flip it. But basically, your short should be anywhere above here if you were still bearish, right? For me, I was not bearish by then, so when I did that, that's it. I can accept that I was just wrong and already made my money, so just leave the week do its thing. But let's say I want to trade, right? So and I'm looking for actual lower prices. So the obvious next discount is it's this fair value gap with the wick, right? So like it's gonna get messy. Like even if I wanted to trade this day, just think about the amount of lines and BS that I'd have to keep track. This wick, blah blah blah, right? There's bunch of stuff to see like what the algorithm is using. I cannot be asked. I'm not gonna keep it a buck. But as you can see, like let's say you'd have a target like this, right, as a rejection block, or in the 4 hour it'd be somewhere like here. and upper quadrant, like midpoint, right? But you can see that's after the fair value gap. So our focus would be this upper quadrant, and then here for, so I'd say like anywhere between this as a TP as for the short, right? And you can see price literally went to like what, the lower quadrant of the fair value gap, barely. I can see that it just barely missed it, but you get the point. You know, this is the distribution, right? You don't want to be too exact. So we're gonna find the manipulation for that. So what do we have? This is Wednesday, this is Thursday. The only PD right here is we got this week and this week, really. So let's see. Nothing significant about this week. Alright, lower quadrant of this week, I think. Let's get down to 1 minute. So it misses it by literally 0.25, so one tick. And that means, that doesn't mean it didn't use it. I mean, it didn't use that specific one. By not reaching it, that means how bearish it is. But then it hit something for the tick. So, of course, it's not this fair value gap on the 4 hour, you know. If this the manipulation leg, and yeah, right there, this week 50.75, missed it by a tick, but it hit the 4 hour. That means it's very, very bearish. But I would not even expect it to be this early. Like, god damn, was that Asia? Asia made the manipulation? Yeah, it's Asia. It's even before midnight, right? It made the manipulation. I remember seeing this high at London. I think I woke up, but from what I've seen, it was the only reason that I continued to like not even bother for the day. Because as you can see, it's a clear 2022 model, right? I did not see the manipulation to the tick, right? If I seen it, I don't know. Maybe I would have taken it on paper or something, right? Because it's obvious, but Asia hitting manipulation is a good sign of we are very bearish or bullish. Like if Asia, like that means price needs to go somewhere, right? After it done all of that, right? Like let's say I'm bullish, right? When I was bullish, what was I looking for? Right? I was looking for us to just completely disregard this gap, right? Which we still didn't close above, as you can see. So it was like questionable. But then if I was really looking at bearish, and I'm seeing the lower quadrant of this week and on the daily wick that we literally like lower quadrant, not even the not point, not even the CE, like literally I see that's bearish. Plus I seen the chart on London on 15 minute, and I already seen like the 2022 model, so I already know this low is gonna get taken. Why? Because really and truly market structure shift right here on this low that started this whole run to the manipulation, right? Boom, we go below it, market structure shift. Then you're looking at the fair value gap in discount, right? So from here to here, discount, where's the fair value gap, right? Right there. Okay. And I'm guessing, of course, you know, for the manipulation, right? Like the obvious PDA rate would be this for hour, right? And it should be hit or something, at least something, right? Because we need to be hitting in the session, not outside real session. So right there, as you can see, I'm guessing that's the high for that 15 minute. Right. Institutional order flow entry drill on this fair value gap that is in discount. Remember, this gap was in discount, and it's the only gap in discount. Right? There's no other gap in discount. It's the only gap. Institutional order flow entry drill. It hits the lower quadrant of the fair value gap. So remember, lower quadrant of the wick, lower quadrant of like heavy signs, right? And you'd know the minimum target is this. Why? Okay, if this is a 15 minute 2022 model, then I'd aim for this and like maybe this. But like a 4 hour fair value gap has a lot of like let's say motion, right, in the daily chart. Like it moves price. So like if this is respected, as you can see, a 4 hour fair value respected, expect a certain movement in that price, right? 4 hour gap respected, right? It never closed above. Expect a certain movement into that direction, and at least taking these swing lows or whatever, right? So as you can see, we're already getting too many lines, but the play was in London basically. And honestly, you don't need all this, what the PDA is, whatever. Like if you just blatantly went model 2022 and seen this gap and you're like, I'm gonna wait for price to go there, and just short it and have, what do you call it, on like the 15 minute, which is even more like safe, right? Like you don't even need to drop down to the 1 minute, have precision. The rules are like you'd have to leave, but like it's bunch of fair value gaps. So like you could just say like, I don't know, you just leave it up all the way here as a stop loss, right? And you'd enter with something low. But if you know what you're doing, you wouldn't expect the 0.5, right? Because we left the 4 hour fair value gap. You don't want to trade. This is an inversion fair value gap now. So you'd put your stop loss somewhere around here, right? So you'd sell one, then stop loss above here. But that is peanuts from, I'd probably say two. And then TP1 would be that low. And then TP2 would be I wouldn't say it wouldn't be the wick, it'd be the fair value gap, right? And I'd say like TP2 like somewhere here, just to be on like the safest side, right? And you can see I wouldn't expect that much. I actually would expect just maybe lower quadrant this week, right? Because like that's way too extended, right? The logic, but the taking that low, the logic is there, but you never know. It could do it on Thursday and then do it on Friday, right? But the fact that it did it on one day just shows how bearish it is. I mean, it was calling how bearish it is in like London and Asia. The fact that Asia manipulated us. Right? I don't know. I don't really have, right, and I think that's it really. At like 9:30 opens and it dumps us, but like it'd be a London. Alright, let's say, um, what do you call it? It's a New York play, right? And you're going for the dump. You know what? I actually don't know. No, cause like this to me it'd be chasing price, right? Even entering this guy, cause it could have just manipulated done something, right? When it went down here against institutional order flow until it hits this low, right? And then I don't know, like let's say you've been trying to catch this. I'm guessing this is like the upper quadrant or whatever. Look how hard it retraces, right? But then it goes clean after like 10. I think, yeah, I'm guessing there's news, institutional order flow. But like these ranges are big, right? Like they're big. What like let's say I'm trying to enter on this stop loss, like I have to at least account for some of this. Look at this range. This is just big, right? It's not worth it. So whoever skipped the day, good on them. That should have been done. If you called it in London, fair play. In New York, I think there's no point. Simple as that. What else do I see? I'm guessing I remember this law. I think I've seen it. This was just the only play, only respectable play was in the PM. If you missed in what do you call it, New York, right? Because we went up that high and go to the low, right? It's not the rejection block, right? Right there for the 4 hour, right? Because again, in the session we want to manipulate the rejection block. Okay, I'm tweaking the rejection block, right? On the 1 minute. Other than that, there's so many actual PD arrays here, right? Just in this level, like that's if we're not gonna But when we're dumping like this and we react to this area, especially the 4-hour rejection block, that's my main point. Okay, right? If you just take any buy signal here, the order block, the fair value gap, if it barely hits it, whatever, 15-second, right? That's the only respectable play because clear direction. Boom, we stop right here. Thursday, I did not even check if we have SMTs. Do we have SMTs? This looks nasty. Thursday. Yeah, see? This was the only respectable play. Big boy SMT. Right? We hit the rejection block on the 4-hour. I'm guessing it's top of the daily fair value gap, blah blah blah. There's so many PD rates, it doesn't matter what you have plotted in your chart. You just know that you would have had to wait till PM, right? 130, there's 130 start the dump. I guess so, right? We're just in this consolidating range. We go up 130, we start the real manipulation for the PM, and we distribute, and then you'll just try aim for like, I'm guessing this AM high, and is this relative buy side liquidity? Nah, it took it, but still, most relative, and there's a fair value gap above it. So like, this is just like TP1. What time is this? End of the day. So like, you just hold it until it gives you whatever it gives you, right? That's the only respectable trade. Let's say you buy at, probably trying to get this fair value gap, you miss it, and you'll just try aim for like the order block. You'll still allow for the fair value gap. So decent risk, and this is my minimum TP, that TP I take, and it hits the end of the day. Not too bad, but like, well, not too bothered either, right? To like be doing all of this just to try to catch a trade. I'm not waiting until 2. I don't normally trade the PM unless it's FOMC, so that's a no trade. If I didn't wake up for London, which I really barely wake up to, that's a no trade. So overall, I have no trade. Maybe I would have caught this and I would have got stopped out. So best case scenario, most probable for me, I would have hit break even, or maybe even a loss. See, that's why it's best to avoid days that are just not worth it. Anyway, that's the market recap for Thursday. I'm gonna just hit the Friday one as well because I did not trade that either. And yeah, peace.